really like hearing all the voices. It's nice to see so many faces. Thank you guys for taking some time out and jumping into the meeting. We've got a lot to go over. Excited that we've got Nykole here with us to jump into the meat and potatoes of it. But let's start, as always, with John. John, come on up, bud.
Well, I got some exciting news for you today. The Northwest MLS just did some rules changes that I wanted to bring to your attention if you haven't seen them on their site or anything, that are going to be effective on the 27th of this month. Okay, so we want to be ready for them and also know that they're not effective now. They're not effective tomorrow. On the 27th of this month, they're effective. And so they're going to do away with some of the things that we've had to deal with in the past, like you can't not put the owner's phone number. Now you can have a blank there. You can not have the owner's phone number. So it's about time we can do that. Although those of us who are trying to go after expired listings, it's going to make it a little more challenging, right? So effective on April 27th. There's several changes, but most of them are not really big deals. I didn't bring my glasses, so.
Are they just readers?
Yeah, that's one I highlighted. I wanted to mention also.
John, are they just readers?
I'll break them. My
They're not
big head
timid.
will break them. So there are, so let's just go down to this rule 1C11, which is price changes. So because it's been a rule that you can't, if there's a property that's listed at a certain price and then it sells for a different price, I know a practice has been to go in and adjust that original listing price to match the selling price sometimes, so that there's no, or just adjust it so that there's no questions asked by appraisers or whatever it is, right? So the Northwest MLS has now established a firm rule on that you can't change that price. Okay, they want it to be genuine. So that means if it was listed at this price, you can't go in and change the price after it goes under contract for a different price, kind of thing. Right? Also, rule 10I, 10, yeah, J, is about the property photos. So it'll be revised to clarify that listing photos may not include people. So you can't put yourself in the picture of your listing and things like that. Now, if it's just kind of a, someone's in the background or whatever, they understand that that's not trying to put a person in that picture, but they are to be just the houses, not people in the pictures.
Okay.
So that's in there. I want you to be aware of that. Always keep in mind when we talk about photos, the importance of making sure you're not using someone else's photos, right? Because there's these copyright laws and things where you can't use someone else's photos, right? So you've got to make sure that they're either the owner has given you them, their pictures they've taken, or you've had them professionally taken, or you've taken them yourself.
Your dog can still be.
I didn't say anything about dogs. That's okay. So Will Smith's wife can
Finish the joke.
Yeah, because that works so well for Chris.
Watch out, get him on November.
So then we go to, and by the way, there's a rule, a new rule, something here about self-tours. So you want to just go and read into that and see how that might relate to you. It has to do with those listings where they're put in where basically the owner is doing everything. The agent's not doing anything. They're just putting in the MLS kind of thing. And so it has to do with setting those things up. You know, we don't do that. We're in full service here. So rule 11B, and then the two little I's. Seller phone number. This is the one I was telling you that you're going to be excited about. That it will be revised to make the seller's phone number optional as opposed to required. Which it's been in the past and will be all the way up until
The 27.
27.
Yeah.
So
So we don't need the 7B anymore?
we don't need the 7B anymore. No.
Okay.
Now the broker still can provide the seller's phone number listing. You know, but it's just not a requirement. 7B and stuff. Okay, and then there's a new rule about site registration. So any of those new construction places that require that in order to get a commission, you're going to have to sign in with your client beforehand. All that, that's been, I'll just say, a dirty pool for a long time, right? With these new construction sites. And so this new rule, 11B, I guess that's the Roman numeral 6, now requires the registration instructions to be disclosed to the public in the public marketing remarks. So we're going to have to make sure, or they're going to have to make sure that they give us a warning, you know, if there's a site registration required. And just in case you didn't know that, whenever you're showing new construction, you always want to make sure your client gets signed in with you on that list so that you're just not ignored and then you come back later to write a deal and they say, nope, you're not on our site registrations. They got to make sure that's taken care of. Then rule 120A and then a little I, which is pending inspections, is just simply to make sure that if it goes under contract but is pending inspection, you can use that status and should use that status pending inspection. Then it goes from pending inspection to just pending after the inspection's all been out of the way. Okay, and that's just, you know, a clarification of it because apparently the old rule didn't really clarify it. There was some confusion over it, and so they've clarified it now so that is the way we report things now. We're trying to do it for a lot of different reasons, right, that are all beneficial to all of us as Northwest MLS members and also to our clients, you know, as they're looking for property or whatever, to make sure that we have statuses correct on this thing, right? And then the last one is Rule 125B, which is contact with the buyer. So you've always had a rule that said that the seller, the buyer's agents, if they're not the listing agent, can't contact the seller directly, right? And so we've never had a rule that the listing agent can't contact our buyers. Apparently that's becoming a problem. So now we have a rule that's a reciprocal rule on that basically says that, you know, you can't contact a seller directly without going through their listing agent, and the listing agent cannot contact a buyer directly without going through you, the buyer's agent, right? They can go to the lender as provided for in our purchase and sale contract, in our financing addendum. They can contact the lender, but they cannot contact the buyer's agent without going through the buyer's agent. They cannot contact the buyer without going through the buyer's agent. Okay, so any discussion or questions about that? Those changes. The rest of the changes are all little minor word changes and things like that. Okay, so they're no big deal. And
John,
yes,
this is Kristen. When I came in, you were just finishing up the new site rule. I'm going to need a little clarification. Which site? I just missed that section, that little part.
well, yeah, you can.
It's related to new construction.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'll check on that when I get a new construction thing. Okay, good news.
Oh, look at the rule number, by the way, for you, Kristen, for everyone, of course, is legal bulletin 221. So legal bulletin 221 under the Northwest MLS site is where you would want to go to review any of those things and get clarification on them. Just wanted to
Okay.
bring attention so that we are prepared when the 27th comes around.
Okay.
That's me, I'm Crystal. Yeah. Or we cannot, we'll skip them. That's cool too. I have some exciting things to announce, but first I have a question. How many of you have, let's pick a random one, opportunities checklist set up in your opportunities? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. How many of you think they're a great idea, but they're a pain in the butt to put together, and so you're never going to do it? That was a lie. If your hand is down, you are a liar. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being the only honest person in the room. I know, because I know a lot of you pretty well, that we really want to have organized and functional businesses, and we get way bogged down in the business of doing business, and then we don't organize our businesses. Sound about right? Yeah. So we want to help. So we are launching Agent Concierge Services. And this is largely designed to help our new agents coming into the office. So we have some packages to help get them up and running. But we are also offering all of these services a la carte to you. So we are doing things like setting up your Facebook business page, organizing your opportunities pipeline, adding your checklists, adding your client updates. We will do listing ads on your behalf. We will do buyer focused ads on your behalf. We will do case score profit share ads on your behalf. We will set up your cloud CMA. We will set up your 30 touch plans. I'm not doing all 36 for you. Some of them you still got to do. Lots and lots of options here and more to come. This is all ready to go right now. If you want to click to the next slide. I've broken up the concierge services into categories, really just to make it easier for you to find and order. So we've got what I'm calling the command essentials, Facebook focused things. Welcome to KW. If you need a new email signature, that's where that lives. We will do your buyer presentation or your listing presentation for you, create that for you. And we'll do some agent site updates. Quick note on agent sites. I'm hearing more and more questions about this. Agent sites are working. You have an agent site as it existed. We cannot make any edits to those right now. The people responsible for that particular piece of KW technology are based out of Ukraine. And we know that they are in a safe place, but their ability to work is limited at the moment, which is what is causing issues with fixing that right now. So if you have an agent site, it's great as it is. Just don't try to make any changes right now. And I see a lot of new agents in the office. You also have a website, but it does not have your face or any of your branding on it right now. And as soon as we can fix that, I will let you know. But when we can edit, we're going to add a bunch of KW agent site information. I have some pricing guides for you. So I'm going to put some chunks of these around and you guys can take these. I also have a few packets that talk through exactly what all of these mean, what services they offer and what that looks like for you. I did not print 30 or 40 of these because we are a profit sharing company, but they're here and you can look at them. But I'm going to pass out these pricing guides. Do we have any questions about these concierge services? I can email it to anybody who would like it. You can shoot me an email, but if we go to this next slide. If you're interested in some of these services, these QR codes will take you to the order forms, which also have more information. I didn't quite get all of the order forms done. So if you're interested in services that don't have an order form yet, just shoot me an email because they'll have an order form by the end of the day. Any questions about concierge services? Yeah.
You just take a look at everything and tell me how to fix it.
You have my Calendly link, set an appointment. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, right. $1 million.
What's a smart view? That's an excellent question. Did you know that in your command database, you can set up smart views that are basically automatically filtering the way you look at your business regularly? So let's say you always want to hop in at the beginning of the day and be able to see who was recently on your app or website. You want those to be the first people you see in a day. You can create a smart view that will specifically filter it that way. And then you can have another smart view that maybe organizes it by birthdays. So you can look at who's got a birthday that month. You can organize it in any way, anytime where you have to like go through and set a bunch of filters. If it's something you're doing regularly, you want to set it up as a smart view, save you some time. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Later. I will make them available on the RBN Facebook page. Any other questions? Cool. That's what I got for you. I'll like sporadically put these around. I have more things to say. I know that's just all I have about this. What else do I have to say, Goldie? What? Oh, that's right. Thank you. I forgot. Guess what?
What?
Who's excited about concierge services? Who would be more excited if you didn't have to pay for them? Well, if everyone will reach under your chairs, there are 4 lucky winners who won some concierge services. It's on the lip on the front of your chair. Last one. Yay! Because I've seen the rocks can donate it. All right, so yeah, there should be 4 of them. There should be 4. 1, 2, 3. We're missing 1. 4. Yay! Oh, yay! So you can email me and we can talk about how to use those. All right. Do I have anything else to say, Goldie? Okay. All right, today I am teaching Get Off the Real Estate Roller Coaster. If you are looking to regulate your business and your pipeline, this is the class for you. It is the favorite of the 4 I teach. So I would love to see you there today at 1. And I'm doing a Facebook ads best practices lunch and learn on April 21st at 12 o'clock. This was a big ask. People were asking me how do I set up my Facebook ads? What should I put in them? How do I word them? All the stuff that goes into making a really effective Facebook ad. I'm going to have all of that information plus several stats on the lead capture of the ads I've been running and how that's been working. So if you're interested, I would love to see you then.
Crystal,
Yeah?
is that going to be recorded? Is that going to be recorded?
No, it will not. In
Okay.
person.
Unfortunately, I'll be out of town. Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Crystal. All right. So we have Knock coming in. They'll be here at the end of the meeting for the certification, but we're actually going to have her speak right now and share a little bit more about what Knock is. Karina, are you with us?
I am. Hello. Great to be here.
How are you?
I'm great today. How's everyone?
Amazing.
Good. Everyone can hear me and see me, I hope?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to share my screen and get started. Okay, hopefully y'all can see the screen. So I am here with Knock. My name is Karina. We are thrilled to be partnering and launching in the Seattle markets with partners all across Washington. When I say Seattle, I really do mean like the whole metro area. We go up, I think we cover about 7 counties. And you're going to get geared up with Knox Solutions today after the call. It's about 12:20, 12:30, I believe. We're going to start our quick 20-minute certification. But this is going to help you create win-wins for your clients. They're going to be able to write more competitive offers with fewer contingencies, reduce timeline stress, and we're not an iBuyer. It's going to be no cost to agents. So I just like to get that from the get-go. We create power buyers and stress-free sellers. First, what is Nykole? We're a tech-enabled lender. We're full service, but we provide really innovative solutions that other lenders can't. And we pride ourselves on being 100% agent friendly. We really help you as agents unlock inventory, creating the power buyers that can win in today's competitive market. They're going to be supercharged with ultra competitive offers. And this is real footage from a recent open house here. It's bananas, as you know, I'm preaching to the choir. But in today's market and tomorrow's market, traditional lending products no longer best serve all clients. I'm an agent myself, and I joined Nykole because I felt the need for this product was so strong. We have two solutions to help turn your clients into power buyers. First is the Nykole Home Swap. We lend your client their equity in their listing at 0% interest, so they can make an offer on their new home, non-contingent on the sale of their old one. We're the only lender in the country that enables your client to buy a new home first, as if they didn't have an existing mortgage, without sacrificing their purchasing power or the equity in their listing. And then to smooth out the transition and create fewer roadblocks, that 0% equity advance can cover the new down payment, closing costs, program fees, potential appraisal gaps, mortgage payments on the listing, cosmetic repairs or staging. So essentially, your clients will win with fewer contingencies and a stronger offer position. You get the opportunity to sell the listing at its best while vacant, and these benefits improve your client's home buying experience and satisfaction, helping you build a thriving relationship that fortify your business for years to come. They're also available for a very transparent fee that will be covered out of the equity advance or rolled into the new mortgage. We'll talk more in depth on this in the training. And then not to mention your clients won't have to move multiple times, scramble to find short-term housing, or take on a potentially costly and uncertain bridge loan. That is the beauty of Home Swap. And then for your clients who are buying only, we offer Nykole Go. We approve and fully underwrite your client to make offers that are more competitive with cash and provide peace of mind in the form of appraisal protection and guaranteed financing. So both your buyers and the sellers will have additional assurances. The offer is solid, there are protections in place should the appraisal come in low, and that the deal will close on time. No program fees, no loan origination fees. It's a no-brainer. So to become Nykole certified, you can just attend the webinar we're having at 12:20-ish after your meeting, and then you'll be Nykole certified, able to offer these programs and get all the support. We provide you with marketing materials, liaisons, everything you need. So I look forward to seeing you later today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be back on later. Thank you.
Oh, come on up, my dear. How many of you guys know the one and only Nykole Larson? Yeah. I'm super excited to spend the next little bit hanging out with her and going over Shift. How many of you guys have read this? Okay, suggestion, maybe reread, or if you haven't, start reading it. Had a mastermind with Gary Keller about 2 weeks ago. He's stating that he thinks we were in the start of a shift. Not that it's coming, that we're here. Granted, the government has to have 6 months to be able to actually verify that, but we're watching things like interest rates for home purchases, auto loan purchases, those loans, appliance purchases, and business loans. Those are the things they're trying to slow down to kind of cause that to happen. But we want to make sure that we're setting you guys up for success. And I remember when I got licensed in 2015, Gary Keller said, anything that you're not doing in your business will expose you in a shift. So we're going to be taking the next 12 weeks and digging deep onto each tactic in this book to make sure that you guys are in a position to take market share and not have to go back to a JOB, which I'm actually really looking forward to. Because how many of you guys feel like there's agents in this industry that actually probably shouldn't be? This is our opportunity to really get our standard for our industry back up and to create the kind of environment that we want, to where we're no longer ranked with used car salesmen and we've got the respect of a nurse. That's my goal. And so I'm really looking forward to having some opportunity to do that. But we're going to dig deep on one tactic today. So Nykole, what are we going over?
Mindset, which I think is so important in any market, right? One that we're in, one that we're moving into. So I'm excited to go over that.
Agreed. So to be specific, in the book, it's page 27 through 28 that goes over this specific tactic if you guys want to dig deep in it afterwards. But there's two things that we have to shift. We're in the middle of a shift. What do you guys think those are?
Close. Yeah.
Mindset is one, correct?
Action. It's exactly action. You both got it.
Killing it. Cheating.
Using your resources.
Hey, you didn't have to check the on yourself.
So Nykole, where do you want to start with this? Do you want to share a little bit about when you got into the industry, what it looked like? Because we've got a lot of people in this room that have only experienced the market with what it is currently. So share a little bit about what you stepped into and what you've seen through your career.
Yeah, so I got my license in November of 2011. Everyone told me I was crazy because there was a lot of bank-owned homes, short sales, and things were on the market for like 10 or 11 months. And I was like, how am I going to stay in contact with a seller for 10 or 11 months? And your marketing plans were literally that long. And so you walked into a lot of homes that had squatters in them. And it was a very interesting market.
Compared to now, I remember when I first got here, I had a new agent call me and she's like, my listing's been on for 4 hours and I don't have an offer. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. So it's exposing you guys to the fact that it's economics, right? It's going to go up, it's going to go down. So we want to set you guys up for success with your business. So let's dig deep on the mindset part of it first, and then we're going to go deeper into the action and the stuff like that. So when we talk mindset, Nykole, what does that mean to you?
Mindset for me specifically is having people around me to help call me out on my own thinking and being able to challenge me to see if I'm in the right mindset to be able to do what my goals are. Because we can get in a lot of different, like we talked about yesterday, we can say like, oh, the market sucks. There's not enough sellers out there. Obviously there was a ton of listings that hit the market last week. So, or you can say everything's fine, which is what I tend to do. Like it's all going to work out, sunshine and rainbows, and it's not.
And you touched on it too about who you surround yourself with,
Yeah,
right?
top grading your top 5.
Yep. So dig deeper on that. What does that mean for people that don't understand that?
So you are, what does they say?
You are
surround yourself with like the top 5. So I always look at every couple of months, like who I'm hanging out with and what is the information or the conversations that we're having around each other and who I can challenge myself to get around to get my own thinking at a bigger level.
And that comes into play with things like who is an accountability buddy, who on your team can help support you, because we're all going to have blind spots. We're all going to think we're killing it and we're going to want to focus on that. But when you have someone that can come alongside you and expose opportunity in your business, that's going to be what's powerful. So you may have set an appointment for the week and maybe your goal was 2 or 3. So we're going to celebrate that. And what is it that we need to focus on? So making sure that you're aligned with people that are willing to have those kind of conversations to grow you into that next level, because what's going to happen is we can't keep riding this volume shift or the volume that we've been talking about. We're going to have to really start focusing on our unit goal. And that's going to be what's going to be important as we start learning a deeper level and relationship with the numbers of our business, understanding what to focus on, because the volume goal is not something we can control. It's been good to us, don't get me wrong. And if we focus on the unit goal, we're going to be able to ride anything that happens, regardless of what the market is doing with price points, right?
I think I was going to add something to that too. I think oftentimes, and I can speak for myself, we compare insides to other people's outsides, and being honest with what your numbers really look like and where, being able to share that vulnerability. Like Dennis, I was scared to death to show him my P&Ls, and he was like, why did it take you 6 months to do this? And I was like, I was terrified of what you were going to see. And he was like, yeah, but I see things that you don't. Here's some opportunity. Tell me the story behind this. Why are you doing things like this? And if you don't have people that you can do that with, you will think you're riding a good wave. What I did yesterday was I took like our volume difference from back then and what that difference was versus units. And if we didn't have that, what would our business really look like? And so maybe playing that numbers game too with a few people would really help you understand like where that reality line is.
I love that. So let's pivot a little bit and go into the action shift that we've got to be really intentional about. talk on that a little bit.
So I wrote down some notes. I wanted to talk about one thing. So in mindset, it goes clarity on your priorities or how you think. And then the action is what you do. So you have to start with the clarity and the priorities and then get the action so that you can, Lindy has a thing that she says to me all the time. She says, are you running towards the fire? Because we oftentimes are like, wanna put it out or like run away from it. But she's like, are you running towards it? What conversations are you having? Open, real conversations with people? Are you really looking at the numbers truthfully? Who's looking at them with you? Like run towards that fire as quickly as possible so that you can create that momentum and consistency.
Yep. And having someone in your world that's willing to help you identify what that is. There's a quote in here that talks about, and it says, the seeds of failure are usually sown during the time of success. Right? Going back to that volume versus unit situation. How many of you guys celebrate your volume goal when you're talking to friends, family, clients? I did. When I was in sale, I was like 29 million, boss move, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what that means, but it sounds really good. What I want us to be really, really comfortable with while we're working together in conversations and in our offices is talking about the unit number, because that is where we can really have a standard and understand where we need to go. You guys also control that 100%. And isn't there a level of comfort when you can control something when you're in a commission-based industry? Yeah, man, how many of you guys want a predictable, consistent business? I think all of us, right? And we actually can control that with our activity and our mindset. What we get to do is choose to be in reality with where we're at, right? No judgment. If we're brand new, starting over, having boss moves and killing it, we still have to face the fact that we're in the level of reality and where we need to go from there. Another thing to be mindful of is for those of you that have started leveraging, figuring out who owns that piece of your business that controls the outcome, right? So we're thinking of appointments and things like that. So kind of analyzing your business and figuring out where your gaps are in that activity. And it goes back to the 4 conversations. Do you guys know what the 4 conversations are? You want to role play?
Yes, we can do
Oh,
that
even
too.
better.
Yeah.
I'm all about live role play. Okay. Can I coach you?
Yes, you
I
can.
love that. This is the wall of value, okay? How much did you make last week in real estate?
You want me to make up a number?
I'm coaching.
Okay. Let's 75,000. I can tell you.
How many
Yes.
closings is that?
We had 1 large closing, so 4.
Okay. You guys, this is the lag measure. Just what is a lag measure? Byproduct, right? We can't control this, but this is what we want to be talking about all the time, right? So we have to go to the opposite side of the wall of value. How many listings did you guys take last week?
4.
How many listing appointments did you go on?
I think it was 6. I'm pretty sure it was 6.
How many did you set?
8.
And how many real estate related conversations did you hold
For listings or as a general as a team?
as a whole?
672. Our goal is 811.
Can we pause and celebrate the fact that she knew these numbers? Okay. So in brand new agents, you guys, we even back this up more into how many attempts or dials. This part of the conversation is a will you. As a coach, as a leader, we can't make you pick up that phone, right? I don't know what happens, but between 9 to 11, you guys get allergic to the dang thing. You don't want to pick it up, right? So this is a will you do this activity, and we can have numbers. This is where the skills come into play and where coaching and accountability and classes and training come in, because all of this is conversion rates, right? From dials to appointments set is what's the skill we need to have behind that?
Scripting.
Dialogue, conversation, yep. From appointment set to held, what's the skill behind that?
I would say
Follow up and scripts and dialogue, right?
setting proper expectations.
Yep. Because what we see a lot of times with brand new agents is that person probably just wanted you off the dang phone, agreed to that appointment, and it didn't actually come to fruition, right? So educating and teaching them on how to close that appointment to validate the value for that consumer or client, potential client. So from here to here, what's the skill here? From appointments held to rep.
Asking for the business.
And what
Yes.
else?
The scripts again, though.
Listing presentation, buyer presentation, scripts, and going for the close, right? So this is something that as we go into the shift, you guys should be doing this for yourselves or having a coach come alongside you and do this every week. Because knowing these numbers and knowing and understanding your conversion rates make it so you can predict this outcome. Regardless of what the market's doing, it also grows you in your skills and identifies where you have opportunity, which then gets paired with what? Classes, training, right? Okay, any questions about this? Is this new for any of you guys? Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
I think the most important thing in it is first you have to track them to understand them.
Yep.
So your goal should be, what is your tracking system? I'm sure there's one in Command that
Sure
Crystal can
is.
show you how
We're
to
gonna
do
talk
that.
about it in class at 1.
Oh, that, I was not paid to do that. That was really great.
That
Yeah.
really is what I'm gonna talk about.
So I just think that that's the vulnerability is being honest with yourself and figuring out the system to track it and setting a reminder in your calendar to do that every single day so that then you can look at it and inspect what you expect with it, which is working on your business, not in your business. And we talked about that earlier.
You guys know the difference between on and in?
Yes.
Okay, there's a huge difference. So to wrap it up, the book has a part of it that I'm going to read to you that shares the 3 type of people that emerge in a market shift. Okay, so the first one are those that are fearfully predict the worst and unusually pessimistic. How many of you guys feel like maybe you fit that? Okay. Second, for those who hopefully wish for the best, believe they can't fail, and are unrealistically positive.
That's me.
Okay, and the third one are those that respect the fact that they might fail, actively prepare for the worst, and strive for the best.
Working on it.
Right? So that goes back to the mindset piece. You guys hear it all the time. If we grow you as people, your business grows as a byproduct. This is a great example of that. Partnering that with the right activities and understanding where you're at in your business and where you need to go. Okay. So we'll be doing this for the next 12 weeks, little snippets of this book as we go through it for the next 12 weeks, right? I'm really excited, but I also want to challenge you guys to read this as well, because there's a lot of practical and applicable things for you guys as we start transitioning into this new opportunity, right? Because that's what a shift is. It's an opportunity. So I want us to be excited about this and not concerned. Okay. Any questions or anything that you want to add to this, Nicole?
I would just say the more vulnerable and real that you can get with yourself and find someone that you can talk to, the better your business will be through a shift.
Agreed. And that's really cool about our office, you guys, is there's not anybody that you're going to run across that can't help you or won't help you, or at least point you in the right direction. That is a huge value that we have here in regards to our culture, because not all the offices have that. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, because real estate can be really, really lonely, which sounds funny because it's a relationship-based business. But we'd love to see you guys in the office. We're going to be adding more script practice and skill-specific things to help grow you guys in all locations, and Federal Way. So we're here to continue pouring into you guys at a high level. We'd like to see you guys in person more and more. To add to that, we want to give you guys a heads up that the ALC has voted. Do you guys know what the ALC is? Okay. The ALC has voted as of this week that all business meetings will now be live in person or streamed to locations. So if you guys are closer to Burien, Kent, or Enumclaw, jump in there and and sit down and log into the business meeting, or jump into Kent. We'll have Summer there leading it in person as we stream it. Or here in location. So we will no longer have a Zoom option. So just a heads up for you guys on that, so you're not surprised are we starting that next week? Yeah. Okay, so that starts next week, okay? So excited to see more and more people in the office for business meetings. But perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, it feels so good, right? Nicole, thank you for taking time out. Couple of announcements real quick. April is for Housing Month, so we've got a lot of opportunity to continue to grow. We've got Julia Lachey, who is our head for the DEI for KWRI. We've got 2 classes, The Color of Real Estate and Unconscious Bias. These are on repeat every month that can be found on KW Connect. These are also the prerequisites for you to be able to get the new certification? Mm-hmm. To be able to tap into that new certification that we'll be offering.
Agent of distinction.
Agent
So after you take those 2, then you can go on. It's $299. There's 5 parts to it, and then you'll be certified as an agent of distinction. And Keller Williams is the first one to offer that kind of certification in the real estate world. And Julia Lachey will also be here in person
Whoop, whoop.
on May 13th. So we're going to be throwing out some marketing around that once I get it together.
Perfect. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We have one more. Oh. Just kidding. We'll come to that next. Next class we're going to have is win-win negotiations being taught by Tyler Holloway. This is Summer Holloway's husband. He's a phenomenal instructor. And again, this goes back to understanding the fundamentals of our industry, right? So really want you guys to tap into this class if you haven't already, or if you need a refresher. That's going to be the 14th of April from 12:30 to 4:30 in this room. Here we go. So the Culture Committee is going to be having a Food Around the World event held April 13th here. They're looking for about, what was 10? 10. Talk, you want to share a little bit about what the vision is for it in regards to executing it?
Yes. So as she said, it's National Diversity Month. We have a ton of diversity in our associations. So, okay. So we would love to have 10 people sign up, bring a dish of your heritage, your culture, whatever your favorite dish.
Who knows how to make lefse?
I do. Oh, Crystal's signing up.
I
Awesome.
will not be here, but I'll bring you some lefse.
So we know. Will you make that? I have no idea what it is. I know it's short notice, and sometimes short notice helps. So hopefully you guys can join us, even if you're not making something. Come meet some other agents in your office. Literally, it's next Wednesday. That's my day off, and I'm showing up. So hope to see some of you guys here. You can scan the QR code. There's a sign up link on the Facebook page to sign up for your dishes. So we hope to see you guys there.
If this somewhat linked to the class, then
No, that's next month.
No correlation. No.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, okay, just kidding.
So we will be having a waffle bar in the Kent location next, is it 2 business meetings? April 19th from 10 to 11:30. So the food will be before the meeting, and then we'll jump straight into business meeting. Would love to see you guys in that location. How many of you guys have visited that office? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. We'd love to see you guys there and make it packed and have some fun as we kind of celebrate spring and all of that. Just to save the date, we've got Red Day coming up May 12th. We'll have more specifics on what you guys can choose to do. We've got some donation options and of course some physical activities for us to be able to out in the community and giving back. This is what Mo Anderson, aka Mama Mo, is really proud of. And so we always really get excited about this day to make a presence in our community.
Really quick, for our newer agents, can you tell them a little bit more about what Red Day is?
Yeah, okay, so Mo Anderson, does that name ring a bell?
Yep.
Okay, I call her Mama Mo. She's phenomenal. She's also known as the Red Velvet Hammer, but her birthday is May 13th. She's a big part of the culture within KWRI, and we can all agree that our communities really kind of help us get to where we're at in our businesses and in our lives as a whole, right? Okay, so this is Mo's request, and it's been going, Dennis, how long has this been going on? Yeah, like forever. And so it started in Texas and it's kind of gone to every market center. We all closed shop and we're out in the community giving back to those that have given us so much. So it's a great opportunity to be present. And it's really fun. I actually really like it because I get to wear my beat up Wranglers and work in the dirt most of the time. And I'm all about that. But we'll have a couple of different options so everybody can participate, whether they're very, you're excited to be digging in the dirt or you just want to be able to donate things. There's a way for all of us to give back. And we'll have sign up and more specific information as we get a little bit closer. But yeah, it's every single market center closes shop on that day so that we can pour into the communities that have done so much. So it's Mo's birthday. We have got, John is going to continue with his high level classes going over specific things. This one's going to be April 11th, going over Form 22A and Form 35E. These are recorded if you guys aren't able to be there or you need to go back to one that's already been taught, but you missed it. And that's going to be in our YouTube library, which is called what? Okay, RBN training channel. So those resources are always available for you guys as well if you're not able to attend. Career visioning and 3690 taught by Lucas. This is going to be in person in Seattle. How many of you guys have taken CV? Okay, how many of you guys in the next year plan on growing your team or organization and hiring? Okay, so this class, Gary used to say, take it 12 times as fast as you can. He's actually up that, Nicole, he's up to 20. So this is a great opportunity for this to be in person with the rest of Seattle. We have been asked to have 75 people in that room, and I believe we're at about 40 already filled. So please register ASAP. And Lucas is one of the best that teaches it, so it'll be a really good value add, and it's local. Expansion. Okay, so this is going to be in Boise, Idaho, taught by Cody. Cody actually facilitates expansion for KWRI. For those of you that are wanting to go into the world of expansion, one, I'd love to have a conversation, and two, this is a mandatory thing for you that you have to take to be able to start those steps towards expansion. So this is going to be taught. It's fairly local compared to having it in Austin, Texas. If you guys have questions on this, please just let me know. I'd love to sit down with you and dig a little bit deeper.
I
Nicole?
mentioned something on that class. If you want to learn about systems and really challenge yourself to see are built. And you just need help with systems. I find it to be a very good class on just having your business like a business.
Yeah, it
It
goes
has
deep on the
everything.
admin and the support behind the team, because you have to have that same level of support for a remote agent. Yep,
Cody's just awesome.
he's a hoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaker, presenter, all of it.
And he's really passionate about this. He's been in expansion from the beginning, which was about 12 years ago. He was one of the original lab agents, if you will, that was in Gary's mastermind. And he's still up and doing it. So he's a great resource. Mega EduCamp is going to be August 23rd through the 24th. I feel like I talked this a lot, but I guess it's on repeat until it shows up. So this is going to be live in person, which we're really excited about. It's a little bit different than family reunion in regards to this is talking to the top of the top. So there's going to be less breakouts and less diverse breakouts. And it's an opportunity for you to expose yourself to those that are up above you in production, volume, team concept, all of that. It's hot as heck in August, so dress accordingly. But we're really excited that that's back. How many of you guys are already registered? One? Tina, you're registered. Okay, we'll love to see more hands up as we get closer. Tori, okay. I love that. Okay, I'll follow up with Brandy. As we get closer, we'll do one of those know before you goes, but this is a great opportunity for you to be able to mastermind and get more relationships with people outside of our market center.
And actually, I just remembered business meeting next week will still be hybrid because you guys will be out.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay.
So the golf bar will be in person.
Yes. All right, that's all we got. So for those that want to be certified with NOC, please stay in the room. We're going to have her jump back on the screen. For those that aren't, thank you for coming to business meeting. Excited to see your faces. Let me know, or the crew downstairs know if there's anything that you guys need, and let's make it a great Tuesday. Thank you, Nicole. Sorry. can hear me. I think that's like 4 o'clock. Thank you. She's gonna get started here in just a minute or so.
Hello, hey Tori.
Hey there. Are we still waiting for Karina to jump on?
No, I'm here. I was literally
Okay.
jumping in between meetings.
I know it has me. It says that I'm Karina Valentine right now.
Oh, that's odd.
Very weird.
Everyone, that's Tori.
Hi, I'm Tori.
Tori is your agent success manager. So she's going to be your liaison when you actually are in transaction or have clients with questions. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I'm not the host anymore, so I can't share my.
I know. I think I'm the host. How about I log off and then log back on real quick? Let me
Perfect.
leave.
Great. I'm the co-host. Okay. So just give us one moment while we get started here. Okay, great. Perfect. So everyone can see the screen, hopefully the deck. We are going to be short and sweet today, getting you geared up with Nykole, and you'll be certified after this call. Tori's going to be here to walk you through everything you need to know in terms of how to actually utilize this product efficiently with your clients and how to win more business by promoting yourself with it. So congrats, Home Swap and Go are going to give you the competitive advantage in your market. And after today, you'll leave Nykole certified, ready to help more clients. So first of all, like I mentioned earlier, Nykole is a lender, and we understand you have a lot on your plates as agents, managing wants and needs, changing market conditions, building your business. So we're going to be here to help your clients regain control throughout the buying process. We're going to help you unlock inventory and provide an elevated client experience. The traditional real estate process is not working for all right now. Buying before you sell is almost impossible with today's market conditions. And there's pitfalls, uncertain timelines. Everyone is looking for that smooth, easy close. And as a result, many buyers who have one or more contingencies are losing out. These conditions make it tough for agents too. And these challenges are restricting our inventory across the country. Many of the current solutions out there, if you're thinking iBuyers or companies that come in and front you to cash, they're complicated and expensive, not Nykole. We are a tech-enabled lender providing high-touch bespoke services to you and your clients. We were founded 7 years ago. So we have a solid track record. We've done thousands of home swaps across the country, and we have the intention of improving the transaction and your client experience. Unlike iBuyers or others in the space, we partner with agents and pride ourselves on being 100% agent friendly. We have 2 programs to help with common client concerns, whether your clients are looking to buy and sell or buy with guaranteed financing. So first, today, we're going to review the home swap. Home swap flips the timeline, smooths out the transaction. We've done thousands of home swaps across the country, like I mentioned, and we're the only lender in the country that enables your client to buy a new home first, as if they didn't have an existing mortgage. So without sacrificing their purchasing power or the equity in their listing. More on that soon. And then we have Nykole's guaranteed offer that gives buyers the ability to create more compelling offers with additional peace of mind, so they can beat out other buyers for their dream home. Agents, you'll get to do what you do best, take the lead on the process, start to finish. Now you'll just be able to offer your clients more certainty, convenience, and cost savings. So let's dive into how home swap works. We have our clients here, Suzanne and Francis. They have kids and pets. They work from home. They need more space, but they also need the equity from their home to purchase the next one. Not to mention they can't fathom living through repairs, staging, and showing their listing. So by bringing home swap to your clients, you remove these fears and overcome their objections. They won't need to move multiple times. They don't need to find expensive short-term housing, and they will have the leg up in ultra-competitive offer situations. They'll be able to place a non-contingent offer on their new home and get their new mortgage as if their old mortgage didn't exist. You're turning these clients into powerful, certain buyers. They're happily settled in their dream home, and then they become stress-free sellers. And this is not a niche issue. Most people do need to sell before they can buy. Many people can't qualify for 2 mortgages. They're unwilling to take on the bridge loan. Short-term housing is disruptive and costly, if even available. So everyone's spinning their wheels writing these contingent offers. And with our product, you'll be able to, like I said, get your client qualified for that new mortgage before their old mortgage is paid off. And we're the only lender offering this. And like I said, in today and tomorrow's market, traditional lending products just simply no longer best serve all clients. So how does the home swap function? It's a 2-part lending solution. NWMLS is the lender issuing both of these loans. Part 1 is your new mortgage. It's going to feel very much like you're going through the traditional lending process for a standard or conventional loan, a standard or jumbo loan, excuse me. It's a solid Freddie Fannie backed product. Interest rates are competitive, audited and published daily in our app for easy reference. There's no upcharge in the interest rates for using home swap. So the interest rates will be the same like you see with traditional lenders. NWMLS offers to guarantee to close that loan in 30 days or your client will receive $5,000. You will guide your clients through the house hunting process as per usual, but with home swap, clients are empowered. They can remove that home sale contingency. They buy before they sell. They're the owners of the home. They start building equity immediately. And then part 2 is the really unique solution. It's that equity advance. This is what's allowing your client to make the move. We allow them to leverage the equity in their listing at 0% interest so that they can transition into the new home prior to having to list their old home. So what can this do? It will help cover up to 20% of the new down payment, closing costs, program fees, potential appraisal gaps. 6 months of mortgage payments will be automatically deducted to cover their old mortgage or their listing mortgage. So they'll only be paying their new mortgage when they're in their new home. And up to $25,000 from their equity will be available for things like cosmetic repairs or staging, improvements on the home to get it ready to sell for top dollar, right? So this is all going to be available for a very transparent fee that can be covered out of the equity advance or rolled into the new mortgage, is what most people are looking to do, right? They want to come with as little cash to close. And home swap costs clients 1.25% on the purchase price of the new home. That takes the place of our origination fee. There's no points. And that equity advance is 0% interest loan. And interest rates on the new mortgage are competitive. So buyers always want to know how much making a move will cost them. So NWMLS streamlined this convenience fee for the new purchase and does not charge additional fees for the advance once the listing sells. So there's no fees charged on that listing, 1.25% on the new purchase price. That's it. And then not to mention, they don't have to move multiple times, short-term housing or costly bridge loans that could go on and on. So that is the beauty of home swap in a nutshell. And I think we should take a pause here to answer any questions before we go into Knock Go. So if anyone has any questions, just speak, or you can raise your hand, whatever works. And Tori and I will answer them.
Yeah, so the equity advance loan, I'm guessing in order to get 20% down, 6 months of old mortgage payments, 25K in home prep funds, there needs to be enough equity in their current property to cover all of that, correct?
Great question. We've found that about 25% equity in the listing and higher is a great place to explore the home swap. Less than 25%, they probably won't be able to capture enough equity needed to make the program a good fit for them. But 25% is what many people gained in just the last year and a half. So
I think it's also important to note too that we're going to lend on a percentage of that equity. And so we're going to lend on about 65% of their net equity. And although ideally we would love every client to be able to put 20% down, that may not be the case with their financial position and their equity position. So we can do as little as 5% down and 15 for jumbo.
Yes, great point. It's going to be case by case basis. Tori can help you kind of have that initial conversation with your client before they go into the application process to make sure it's a good fit. And but if they kind of have that rough number and maybe they don't need funds for home repairs, it's very, they can pick and choose what they'd like to use after those mortgage payments are covered. And of course, their new down payment.
I have a question. So I'm trying to understand this and I'm very visual. So if you're talking about a $1,700 fee and 1.25% convenience fee on the purchase price of the next home, correct?
Yes.
Is that the purchase price of the next on the loan? I guess I'm trying to figure out when I'm sitting down with someone, I'm looking at them, let's say they have 250,000 in equity. You're only going to lend up to 65% of that, of which portion that's used for the 20% up to whatever payment. It's going to include whatever they need for repairs, hopefully. And then the $1,700 fee plus the 1.25% convenience fee is all rolled into that loan.
I think the confusion is that there's two parts. So it consists of getting them approved for a mortgage, and then you have the equity advance piece. So there's two parts. The equity advance is that 65% of their net equity. We can lend on as much as 2.5 million for the actual loan part to purchase the home. Is that the confusion?
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to explain to someone when I'm doing a potential, trying to get someone interested in having a listing appointment using this particular program as an option, and trying to show, yes, they get approved for a mortgage first. That's one part of it, but then they're getting approved for the advance and all the other things. That's the $1,700 fee plus a 1.25% convenience fee. Is that based on the amount they're borrowing? Is it based on the purchase price of the next house? Because we're going to have to show them some numbers, how this will benefit them.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually create a really handy spreadsheet that I can help you through. We have a cost comparison that's available on our website that shows exactly what it would look like between us and using a conventional lender. So we have a lot of resources available to you to show you exactly what that looks like from a cost comparison standpoint and what the numbers work out to be.
Right. I think that's going to be crucial because even though I want to do this and start promoting it right away, I want to send it out as a postcard to my farm at the end of this month.
Mhm.
I want to be prepared. I need to have the documentation in front of me and I need to understand it so I can clearly explain it and win over other potential listing agents when I'm in competition. So.
Absolutely. That's why we're here today. And that's why Tori can really help provide additional support, but we'll get to also where all the resources live for you in a moment here. And yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt again, but are they, do they fill out their application, everything online? Do they talk to a person? And does it take 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on how quickly they upload their documentation?
So the loan applications can be done online. You can invite them via our app. And we have a different, you mean for pre-approval? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Pre-approval for home swap, of course, they need to get all their information in, and we'll go over that later today on how the timelines work and the additional bits of information we ask for from the agent. So stay tuned. We're going to get to that in a moment when we go through the app. Yeah. And it is 1.25% on the purchase price of the new home. So it's very clear when they're going to look at their new purchase, that's what they'll be using to buy with a non-contingent offer, not having to move. They can stay in their listing as long as they need to, and access their equity at 0% interest. Okay.
Karina, we have a couple questions here in the room.
Oh, great. Yeah. Let us know.
I have two questions. What kind of appraisal do they use on the pre-qual? And then number two, is it for owner occupied only to purchase, or could it be non-owner occupied?
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Tori, you want to take this one away?
And I did not hear it as well.
Sorry. Okay, so the appraisal for that new home, is that what you're talking about? Is just like any traditional
For the
lender.
current home.
We don't require an additional appraisal for the current home, the listing. We have our app, our algorithms, our data. That's a big part of our company. We were actually created by some of the founding members of Trulia. And so we will qualify the client's listing to lend that equity from based on our own internal data sources and feedback from the agents.
Exactly. And I see another question there that's kind of along the same lines where it says, who determines seller's current equity? You're going to help us with that. When you enter a home, and we're going to get to this piece of it, is how you work with us in the Home Pro app. But when you run a home for an eligibility check, what will happen is it plugs into our algorithm, which determines a fair market value. You're going to give us what your suggested list price is. And between those two, we're going to take the lower of those numbers to determine what our backup offer is to make this whole thing work and what your client's equity position is.
Yeah, so if the listed home gets a windfall and they have additional funds and they want to be able to put that onto their new loan for the home they purchase, can that new loan be recast with putting that windfall on there?
Yes, absolutely. They can do a recast after 2 payments on the initial loan.
So back to the equity conversation. Let's say they have 150 grand in equity projected, or what we expect. You can only loan on 65% of that. So basically like a 97 grand is what we could utilize towards their down payment and all the things that we're talking about on the new house. Am I thinking about that correctly?
Yes. Yeah, that would be accurate. So keep in mind, there are people that do not need to access their equity so much as they need to go in non-contingent. So you have people that may not necessarily be cash poor that also may want to utilize this program too, because they just need to be non-contingent on the sale of their home. So maybe they have an additional 60 grand sitting aside. They want to access some of their equity for additional funds for down payment too. So there's a number of reasons that it might benefit your clients.
Great questions. Yeah, I think it's an important point. We'll talk about it later in the presentation as well, but there are a variety of value propositions that people choose HomeSwap for. In Seattle, a lot of people are paid in RSUs and restricted stock units, and they don't want to cash out their stocks. They could, but they'd rather use a program where they can leverage their equity at 0% interest to go in non-contingent. And like Tori mentioned, maybe they have a lot of cash on the sidelines. They just need that convenience of buying first and selling later. They don't need funds for prep and so on and so forth. So you really have to think about the buyer and put yourself in their shoes when you go into your individual conversations and let them know how this will best serve them. Great, so we're gonna go into not Go, switching gears a little bit. Think about Go just for new buyers. It's a new loan just for buyers. And we have our little case study here, Andre and Diane. They're losing out to multiple offers. They are playing a waiting game in a fierce competition, and they're getting very discouraged. I'm sure you can think of some current buyers that you have feeling the same way. So Knock Go allows them to compete with a stronger financed offer and receive appraisal protection, all for no extra fees. And there are options out there that you can get cash fronting to your buyers for high fees, or the company's purchasing the home for them. This is an alternative to that, where they're the owners of their home and for no extra fees. We're allowing them to go in with a guaranteed to close loan. So we know this is the big issue right now. There's a lot of buyers with very deep pockets, and here's a simple solution. You'll get your client underwritten for a conventional or jumbo loan through Knock. They start making offers with a guaranteed close and appraisal gap coverage. What does that mean? That if we have some stipulations, we get them underwritten, we go through the process. If the loan for some reason is not clear to close on 30 days, Knock will fund the loan with their own money and figure out the little paperwork, whatever was missing from the file after the fact. So the client can go in with more assurances about their closing date and their position, their strength of their offer. And then Knock's appraisal protection is a really unique offering for your clients. As you know, a low appraisal will create a difficult experience. And as the agent, you have no control. The lender, we have no control. It means the client risks losing their home if they can't come up with the cash, or you lose out on the deal. So if it comes in low, if the appraisal comes in low, Knock will provide a credit for the amount needed to bridge the gap, or up to 100% of closing costs, or up to 3% of the loan amount, whichever is the lesser of the three, regardless of whether your client has an appraisal contingency in place. We never direct agents on how to write offers. However, this program was born out of the realization that many people are going into their purchases with no financing and no appraisal contingency in place to be more competitive. So why not offer them a little bit of extra assurances so that they can compete, and that the selling side will also have assurances, knowing that they have this appraisal protection and they have a guarantee to close loan. So peace of mind, stronger offers. There's no program fees, no loan origination fee. This one's a no-brainer for your buy-side clients. All right, so we're going to talk about the game-changing benefits. We've done that. Let's explore how you work with NWMLS, how to serve your clients. This is going to hit on some of the points from the questions earlier. So first things first, we're going to get you on the app. This is really key. On the Home Pro app, you'll be able to check interest rates, qualify your client's listing for home swap, invite them to submit a loan application. So if you have your phone handy, you can scan the QR code on the screen or search for NWMLS space Home Pro is one word. There we go. So your login is the same email and password that you use to register your NWMLS account. We haven't done that yet. We haven't received your email list. Once we're done with the call, I'm going to send you all an email. It will come from NWMLS.com. This is important. Check your spam or your promotions file. You're going to register your email. You'll create a password, and that's what you'll use to log into the app. So you'll have one password for NWMLS that will get you into the app and the web portal where all the marketing resources, listing presentation materials, everything lives that you need. Okay, so here's how it works. The app walks you through the process. You can start by adding a new client. This information is never used externally. You only need to add their name just for you to track their records in your app. Then you can see, do they need to buy and sell, home swap, or do they need to buy with a guaranteed to close offer? That's not go. For home swap, here's how we verify the listing. We have our backend data. We have our methods tried and true, but we also ask the agent for a few photos and condition notes on the client's list property to verify the property condition. This should take you all of like 8 minutes at your listing appointment. It's all done easily in the app. There are no additional inspections or appraisals required to qualify the home for the home swap. And then you can use the mortgage calculator to talk with your client about, whether they would qualify. You can invite them to submit a loan application, or if that's not your style, you just hand them directly off to Tori or our customer success team to help answer their questions. So there's options. We do not expect agents to memorize the ins and outs of lending programs, but here's a quick way that you can kind of add value to your listing presentations, let your clients know about the opportunity, and then hand them off to our support teams. That's great because if you have any questions, we have a button right in the app that you'll get directly to a real human. So real time, results, no prompts, no robots. You can see here if the listing will qualify for the home swap. Then we invite your client to apply. Like I said, checking to see if that listing is eligible for home swap. You just type in the address. It takes a minute. So you can do that prior to jumping into a call or your appointment. Then you'll let them know if you can offer that to them. So we want to be the engine behind you, promoting you as the agent, but you're the hero bringing these solutions to your clients. And we want to empower you before you get into that conversation to understand enough that you can offer it to them and solve their pain points. And then in the app too, you can track your progress, keep your home swappers organized. We really want to walk you through this with answers to your questions that you need for a stellar client presentation. So you can kind of see there, we have that checklist. Great. So like we touched on earlier, the way that these solutions work with your clients can be dependent on their needs. So you have the certainty of presenting stronger non-contingent offers while still living in and owning the listing, so no timeline pressures. You have convenience of buying first and selling later. No one has to live through repairs or showings or scramble to move multiple times. Even just that, like the stress of moving right now for people is overwhelming them. So not having to move twice is huge. And that also feeds into cost savings in our higher priced areas. Rental prices are very high. And so with home swap, the client doesn't need to worry about that, doesn't need about doubling up on fees and prices. They only need to move once, potentially without cash out of pocket. Forget high interest bridge loans. And then if there are any home prep funds, you're ensuring that the listing sells high. It's going to be vacant. You're going to sell it quick. And the program fee is very reasonable and straightforward, which clients love. So with these powerful solutions, you have a competitive advantage now in your market. You can give that advantage to your clients so that they can get the winning edge in their deals. And most importantly, you are not alone throughout the process. So like I mentioned, Tori's going to take it away in a second here, but we also have a customer success team available to serve you. And yeah, I'll let Tori take it from here.
Hey everyone, as Karina mentioned, my name's Tori and I am one of Knox Agent Success Managers. I'm also local. I live down here in Buckley where it is currently hailing right now. So super fun there. I used to be in West Seattle, so super familiar with the market. I actually was a showing agent for Redfin for a while, so I've probably shown some of your listings even. I'll be your primary point of contact to get you started. My main goal is to make sure that you have all the knowledge and resources you need to offer home swap and not go to your clients. Once you have a loan application that's been submitted, you'll be assigned a dedicated loan advisor who'll be your go-to for that transaction and all future transactions. Once you've registered your account, and this is key, once we get your emails and Karina gets that invitation set up, you'll be activated and I'll be able to send you a quick start guide with some links to resources. And I believe Karina is going to share the link to my calendar in the chat. This is a great way for you to schedule a call with me one-on-one so we can go over some of the details of home swap and not go and answer some of your more specific questions. Additionally, I found that scheduling a three-way call with myself, you and your clients, or a Zoom is a great way for you to learn the finer points of home swap and not go, and also really lends a lot of transparency to the whole process. I'm also happy, like Karina said, to chat directly with your client. You can always just hand them off via, a little soft introduction via email or a quick call, whatever works best for you. If I'm not available at a time that's convenient, you can always reach out to our customer success team. They are available by email at hello@knock.com, by phone with the 866 number, which is available on the website. And there's a button within your Home Pro app that you can use to connect directly as well. I am also available on the weekends too. You can always drop me a text. I'm here for you when you need me. So don't feel like you are burdening me by reaching out. I want to make this a successful relationship. Once certified, you'll have the Knock Resource Center at your fingertips. Here you'll find all the information you need to succeed. There's tons of training videos, reference articles, FAQs, and lots of marketing materials too that can be co-branded. You're able to access the Knock Resource Center in the Home Pro app and the Backyard portal. I'll send you the link to that in the Getting Started email, so you'll have all of that. So congratulations, you guys are now Knock certified agents and ready to offer home swap and not go. So what's next? Start sharing with your clients in Sphere on social media. Make these unique tools a part of your conversation with every potential client. Think about your past clients who have maybe gotten discouraged and given up, those sellers that you just cannot get off the fence right now. Home swap or not go might be the game changer they've been waiting for that can get them into their dream home. Take advantage of all the marketing materials and definitely do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to be a resource. So I know we probably have some more questions, so let's circle back to those.
Great, thank you. Yes, okay, so we have some questions in the chat. Let's see here. So Donovan asks, can you compare Knock to what appears to be a direct competitor, Fly Homes? Donovan, yes, after a little bit of research. And these companies do change their strategies quite often. I found out that Fly Homes does incentivize their clients to use their own brokers and by removing their double sets of closing costs when they do so. That's why we really pride ourselves on being 100% agent friendly. We're very simple in the fact that we're just lending on this, but we don't have our own brokers. We are relying on agents to partner with us and help provide feedback as well. And so when I did my research into Fly Homes, which albeit was when we launched in Seattle a few months ago, they were a bit more expensive because they're purchasing the home. There's double sets of closing costs. They do have a program similar to ours, which they created after ours, but they are heavily incentivizing the client to utilize their own brokers. So I hope that helps.
That does. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I'm happy you're here.
because had you been here 2 months ago, I would have had my past client buyers, what was a $700,000 home that just sold for $1 million through Fly Homes. Because my lender, who they talked to prior to talking to me, could not do anything for them to solve this very problem.
Interesting. Yes. Glad to be here. Yes. It is a challenge right now. And we want to empower agents to be able to solve these problems on their own and not have to go to an iBuyer or a one-stop shop that's taking away a lot of the experience on the client end that they receive.
Hey, Karina, I have a couple questions here in the room.
Sure. Yep.
I know you said you're new to Seattle, so is this a KW benefit? Are you guys going out to every brokerage you can to offer this?
We've already partnered with major brokerages in the Seattle market because we launched in early January. And so we are not exclusive with any brokerage, and we're in about 75 markets now across the country. We've been around doing home swaps for 3 years, and we've done thousands of them. And we found that while it'd be really fun to be exclusive, agents, they'll get certified, use our program, love it, and then they'll move to a different brokerage. And then we're not going to say, oh, you can't use this anymore. So that was the issue that arose from that. And so now we're open to all, but I will say that there is still a big advantage to getting certified and hitting the ground running because it's been less than a year that we're active in Seattle.
Couple other questions that I see here. Credit score ranges, 620 for conventional conforming, and then 680 for jumbo, just like any other lender out there. Looking for a DTI of about 45% as well. And keep in mind, we do factor out that existing home from that equation. And then can prep fees go towards staging? Yes, they certainly can.
So becoming certified here, like what's the next step? I know you have your app and it says like you're certified, yada, yada. How do we actually log in and create a profile on Knock?
Great question. So I believe Goldie is going to send me the list of participants from today. And then I'm going to send you an email from Knock to register your account. Then you'll create your username and password, and you'll be able to log into the app and the web portal to access the resource center, materials available, and the support numbers.
Thank you.
Tracy asked, do we have access to the actual loan officer doing the loan? Yes, 100%. As soon as that loan comes in, I will facilitate an introduction if they haven't already reached out. And that is going to be your go-to. We recognize that relationship with your lender is really, really, really valuable and really important. And so we make sure that you have access to them immediately. As far as how long it takes to get approved, we can have some pretty quick turnarounds if everybody has it together and can get things uploaded, but I would expect, I would shoot for 72 hours to get a pre-approval after everyone has uploaded all their stuff.
And then Jason asks about primary versus secondary homes. Good question. Sorry, we did not hit on that. This is for primary homes, but they can be a duplex or a triplex if they're being owner occupied in one of the units.
Oh, and can client use equity from a secondary home? No, you can only leverage equity in one home. I wish we could do it the other way. I have people that try to finagle it all the time. Not yet, maybe someday.
On the guarantee appraisal situation, is that when you guys, let's say you close the gap or whatever the 3 different options, let's say you made up the gap in appraisal, is that something that has to get paid back? Like, how does that work? Do they pay it back somehow? Does it get, yeah, how does that work?
It's a credit at close. So it is not paid back or rolled into their mortgage. Literally, Knock is giving away money. But that's why we're not giving away the entire appraisal gap if it's $200,000, right? So it's the lesser of the 3 mentioned, the gap amount, or 100% of the closing costs, or 3% of the loan amount. We've already had this save a substantial amount of deals and work quite well, but it is just a straight credit at close from the lender to your client. Google search for knock.com. Thank you, Donovan. That's good to know.
I also attached, I know that there was some conversation about what does cost looks like and how do you do a cost comparison for your clients. Just so you know, there's a PDF that I shared in the chat, which shows kind of what I can create for your clients so that they can see what it looks like. And it's a great way for you to kind of have a visual of it right now too. It breaks it down pretty clearly, I think, but let me know if you have questions about that. Yes, our officers do work on pre-approvals over the weekend. Just like anybody, we're going to encourage you to not wait to the last minute to have your client get pre-approved. But yes, we can do that over the weekend. We'll expedite it if we can.
Max loan amount was 2.5 million or just jumbo period?
Jumbo, period.
That was what they. It isn't, am I hearing correctly? It's only conventional loans or jumbo, correct? So no FHA, VA scenarios.
Yes.
Correct.
And since closing costs are probably one of the cheapest of the three options, I mean, that gap insurance doesn't really, we have to be careful how we're writing those offers because at most closing costs are usually, I mean, it's rare that you're in the 20s or 20,000+ in closing costs. And it's often that you have a gap of 50 to 100 or more in appraisal. So we're not covering those gaps. I mean, the gaps typically are going to be at most, 10, 20 grand or something, I'm guessing that you guys are covering, correct?
That is correct. So you'll want to partner with your loan advisor when you're making your offers to really determine exactly what you should be presenting in there and what's comfortable for your clients as well, because they may have an additional, 30,000 that they can bring to the table, for an appraisal gap. Lene, it says, will there be other classes to take? So there's a bunch of on-demand trainings that you can do in our resource center, but you can also do a one-on-one with me. We can jump on a Zoom and I can go over it and answer specific questions. So that's not a problem.
Great questions, all. All right, so if there's nothing else at the moment, remember you have resources available if things do pop up. You have Tori at your fingertips. You'll have your customer success team. Once I receive the emails, I'll send you that invitation to register, and then you're ready to go.
Hey, Karina, I have another question for you in the room.
Of course.
What happens if the seller's not able to sell their property after purchasing the property? The property is somehow not marketable, or if there's a death, or it gets tied up in the state or something like that. Fire, yeah. Natural disaster. Pandemic.
We all saw what the pandemic did to the housing market. So the great question. We do give the seller 6 months to sell their listing with that 0% interest equity advance. So we've never had it come to the 6-month mark, but if it did, your client would have options. They could explore paying interest on the equity advance. They would explore, working with their agent to get an offer, maybe from an iBuyer or something like that. Lowering the price, of course, would probably do the trick, but I know as good agents, you're going to have that conversation with your clients well before the 6-month mark. And that's why part of the reason that we don't lend on 100% of their equity, we never want your client to end up owing money to us after. And NOC also issues a purchase offer at the time of signing to act as that backstop. So it's going to be like an iBuyer offer, 85% of market value, not attractive, not designed to be taken, but yet another option should your client get to that 6-month mark that would still allow them to get their equity and utilize it without being, owing us funds at the end. So options abound.
So what happens with those houses that NOC does buy?
We have not bought a house.
We don't want to buy a house. Our algorithm is specifically designed to weed out any homes that we think would not qualify for the program. So anything that looks like it's going to be sitting on the market for more than 120 days would be something that would automatically be declined. Anything that we don't have enough data for to support price point and, days on market, it also might not qualify for the program. So there's some parameters in place that we could definitely talk about one-on-one.
All right, I have one more question in the room for you.
I have a client who has a property up here, has substantial equity. They want to buy in Reno. So can talk to an agent down there. I know she's working with somebody that I sent as a referral. How would I put them in contact with you, or what would be the next step?
So unfortunately, we are not licensed to lend in Nevada yet, so they would not be able to utilize us for home swap.
Okay.
There's a list. If you go to knock.com/cities, it'll show you all the markets that we're currently in.
Thank you.
Are you licensed in Idaho?
Pardon me?
Are you licensed in Idaho?
No, ma'am. There you go. There's the link.
All right. Well, thank you all. We really appreciate your time and energy today. Congratulations on having this new powerful solution at your fingertips, which you will have soon as I get that email to you. And let us know if we can help in any way. We're here to help. Thanks again. Everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.